If you've been waiting to start investing, the time is now. The stock market has been one of the greatest tools for building long-term wealth, but most people don't know where to start. Do you buy Tesla, Apple, or Amazon? Or is there a better way? Today, I'm breaking down the best stocks for beginners, including dividend stocks, ETFs, and REITs. Plus, I'll show you how you can start investing with as little as $50. No hype, no gimmicks, just real investments that made everyday people like you millionaires. First up, the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is an index that tracks the top 500 companies in the US. When you invest in the S&P 500, you're owning a small piece of companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Tesla. There are two really good ETFs that track the S&P. One being the SPY, the very first S&P 500 ETF. Is very liquid. And the second ETF being VOO, Vanguard's version of the SPY. It's very similar to the SPY, but with a lower expense ratio, meaning more money stays in your pocket. So why should you invest in the S&P 500? Well, it historically has an ROI of over 10%, allowing your money to compound exponentially over time. It's also lower risk than picking individual stocks because you're investing in the top 500 companies. If one company goes under, you can just kick them out. But if an individual stock goes under, you'll lose all that money. And the cherry on top, it pays a dividend, meaning you'll get passive income for just owning the stock. If you would have invested $1,000 in the S&P 500 20 years ago, that $1,000 would be worth well over $7,000 a day. That's the power of long-term investing. Coming in at number 2, VTI. VTI is Vanguard's total stock market ETF. Instead of tracking the top 500 companies like the S&P 500, VTI lets you own over 4,000 US stocks, large, mid, and small cap companies. So what's the difference between VTI and the S&P 500? Well, for starters, VTI includes small and mid cap companies, making it more diversified. SPY and VOO only includes the top 500 companies. Yes, it's more stable, but it has less exposure to growth stocks. And just like the SPY has VOO, VTI has SCHB, Schwab US Broad Market ETF. SCHB has similar holdings to VTI, but with even lower fees. VTI is a great investment for beginners because it gives you exposure to the total stock market. And it has very low fees, meaning more money stays in your pocket. And instead of the risk of picking an individual stock that might fail, VTI gives you exposure to the entire US stock market, meaning if the economy grows, so does your money. And coming in at number 3, dividend stocks. Dividend stocks pay you money for just holding them. This means you earn passive income whether the stock market goes up or down. Two of the best top dividend paying stocks are SCHD because it's one of the best ETFs for dividend growth. And then you got SPYD. It focuses on higher dividend stocks that pay a large dividend. Dividend stocks and ETFs are great for beginners because they provide passive income. Even in market downturns, you still get paid. And reinvesting your dividends compounds your money even faster. Imagine getting paid every 3 months for just holding the stock. Over time, these dividend payments add up and become a great source of income. And last but not least, REITs. A real estate investment trust, aka REIT, lets you invest in real estate without owning property. REITs own commercial buildings, apartments, malls, and hospitals. And they're required to pay 90% of their earnings as dividend payouts. Some of the best REITs for beginners right now are V&Q, Vanguard's real estate ETF, because it's one of the most diversified REITs. And then SCHH, Schwab's real estate fund, Schwab's REIT ETF. This is a lower cost alternative to V&Q. They're great because you don't need a lot of money to start, it pays you high dividends, and it gives you exposure to the real estate market without being a landlord. Instead of buying rental properties and dealing with tenants, you can invest in V&Q or SCH8 and earn passive income from real estate. Now that you know the best beginner-friendly investments, open a brokerage account. Use Fidelity, Schwab, or Vanguard. Start with $50, $100, or whatever you can afford right now. Just start. SCHD or VTI are great beginner choices. And finally, invest consistently. Even $50 every paycheck adds up over time. If you invest $50 a week in VTI starting today, in 20 years you can have over $100,000, even if the market only grows at its historical average. Investing doesn't have to be complicated. The best strategy is invest early, stay consistent, and let time do his thing. Are you already investing? Or are you just getting started? Drop a comment below and let me know what your first financial investment will be. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more wealth building content. As always, I'm gonna catch you in the next video.